Hello and welcome. Looking forward to another week here for WEF Weekly. We're building up and we are getting into the big weeks here now at the centre of the season. Week 5 means the 5-star Fidelity Grand Prix. So for the jumpers, it's a big week, but there's also plenty going on for the hunters as well. Dressage, as we know, has been in full flow. We are very much down the river and well into the season of another fantastic year of the Winter Equestrian Festival. And hello and welcome to WEF Weekly, presented by LeMieux. Thank you to them once again. Each week, our presenting sponsor of the show as well. And a wonderful line of supporters we have throughout the season. LeMieux, worn by the best. And they lead the way in saddle pad innovation, comfort, performance and style as well. Trusted by top riders worldwide. You can find out more at their website, and that's at LeMieux.com. And LeMieux, worn by the best. Like I say, this week is the 5-star Fidelity Grand Prix, and support for the Winter Equestrian Festival coming from Fidelity Investments once again. Great supporter here, as they have been for a number of years now, helping clients grow, preserve and manage their wealth. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth as well for Fidelity Brokerage Services. And so also bringing us our live streaming each week is Dodd Technology as our streaming partner, engineering extraordinary experiences since 1983, and discover how to elevate your sports, entertainment and corporate events at doddtechnologies.com. And also bringing our wonderful WEF Weekly each week, and many of our events throughout, of course, is our live stream supported by the USEF, supporting sponsor of our live stream in part with support from the US Equestrian Federation and the USEF network as well. Thank you to all of those. Thank you to all of you joining us every single week here for WEF Weekly throughout the Winter Equestrian Festival. We are into what is week 5 of competition, week 5 of WEF Weekly as well. And so we're well into 2026. We're into February now already. January is in the rearview mirror, and looking forward to what's coming over the coming 8 weeks as well. Like I say, we are into 5-star jumping action. Already 5-star dressage action has been completed in recent weeks. Now we start into those big group of competitions coming over the next few weeks, from the Fidelity Grand Prix to the Nations Cup to the Modon 5-star Grand Prix, the Bainbridge 5-star Grand Prix, and all on that road to the $1 million Rolex Grand Prix, the US Equestrian Open as well. So lots to talk about as we get deeper into the season, and we also had a fantastic Saturday night once again. But as those of you around the country will know, it was a bit of a chillier week last week. We can't complain too much here in Florida, but we were wrapped up and enjoying the Great Charity Challenge, and raising literally millions of dollars for a whole host of local organisations and charities. A wonderful night was had despite a little bit of chill in the air, and everybody getting into the camaraderie of the whole night, with also Welly, our mascot, there joining in with all the various costumes and fun that was had throughout the night. But the main thing is lots and lots of money, as I say, literally in the millions, was raised, with everybody going bananas throughout the night and getting into costume and enjoying. Our themes each year for the Great Charity Challenge are different, and with the top team there taking away $100,000 for their charity on that night as well. But that behind us, we look forward to getting into our main group of competitions. And last week, in terms of the jumping, we were out on the Derby field as well. We had a wonderful line of competition there with our 4-star for the Mars Equestrian Grand Prix. More on that in a few moments' time. But already last week we were around the grounds too, enjoying competition as everybody is now in full flight and ready to go. And taking a look at what happened was Lindsay Brock. And Lindsay can tell us all about what happened last week here at WEF.
Stephen, WEF 4 saw some big shakeups in the leading hunter rider standings brought to us by Yeti. Last week we spoke about Lily Herzog's domination in the junior amateur standings. This week, Parker Peacock took over the top spot with consistent rounds in the older junior hunters. She now holds a lead of 44 points over Herzog. For professionals, Victoria Colvin extended her commanding lead in the Yeti standings. This week she tops Jennifer Hannon by more than 500 points. Hannon jumped into the standings to bump Scott Stewart from the top 2 with a win in the $25,000 USHJ International Hunter Derby presented by LeMieux, riding Stephanie Bolger's Celestino. That derby was our first glimpse at hunters in the international ring, as attention will soon shift to everything hunters as they take over the big ring during WCHR week at WEF 6. I'm Lindsay Brock, and that's it from the Hunter Rings here at WEF. Back to you, Stephen.
Thank you, Lindsay. Yes, we've also got more hunters to talk later on, because we have a big team competition later on this week as well. More on that a little later. Let's meet our guests this week as well, talking lots of elements of the sport. And alongside me, I'm delighted to say, is Toronto World Cup winner, team rider Alex Matz. Alex, welcome back to the sunshine. You've had a busy day.
I have. I showed here, I showed at the Ridge, and now I'm with you. So excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
We don't want you having any rest at all. Kyle Tim from Canada, delighted to have you here. And in fact, actually hot foot from France over here. You're here for the next couple of weeks. Kyle, what's it like to be back in Florida?
Warmer. It's happy to be here. Yeah, it's nice to see sun and palm trees. I was in Spain the last few weeks. It was a bit cold and windy. And France, we had quite a bit of snow in the beginning of January, so I'm very much enjoying some warmer weather.
So you're delighted with blue skies up above you right here,
Very happy with some warm weather this week.
Excellent, good. Well, two riders, but also joining us is Annette Patarakis as well, who is a mindset coach. So we're talking sports psychology this week with you. You're in town as well, talking with a number of riders, catching them up on their training and their coaching. How's it been going?
So far, so good, yeah. I mean, I love coming here every year. Like you said, it's warmer, first of all, and brighter. So I love being here and seeing my clients in person, because usually it's all over Zoom. So
great, great to have you in town. We'll talk more with you a little later on what you're working with riders on right now. We're going to take a little look at what has been the highlights of last week as well, because we were, as I say, out on the field with a fantastic lineup of what took place. Not only the Great Charity Challenge, but also we are throughout the week on the field for that four-star Mars Equestrian Week. Wins for the likes of Natalie Dean and Mr. Boombastic. It was a week, unfortunately, where we were getting the coats out and wrapped up on the field as well, but loving it out on the turf there as well. Bertram Allen in fine form as well, with Conquest de Rigo into our Mars four-star Grand Prix as well, going very close there. And again, really interesting track set by Anderson Lima. And the Irishman, who has already set several wins out there, was pipped by another Irishman with Shane Sweetnam and Corianne van Klapschoot coming out as our winners of that Mars Equestrian four-star Grand Prix as well. And the horse has been in amazing form last year, went very close in Devon and a whole host of other big competitions. And Shane Sweetnam, again, rising up in the world ranks, announced this morning, world number 11 as he climbs up. But this will also add there, and also the Grooms Award being presented there to the winner of that Double H Award as well. So that a little of last week. Also last week, Ben Mayer was in fine form too, but we're going to take a look at the Grand Prix first. Alex, you were here out on the field. You were in the two-star last week, moving it up this week. Shane Sweetnam, you've watched a lot of. We're going to have a little look at his round as well with Corianne. How is it different getting out there on the field?
I think the field is a wonderful asset to have here in Wellington. I mean, the footing is fantastic. It kind of breaks up the season for your horses as far as, giving them a different ring to show in. You can open up the gallop a little bit. I mean, I think it's a wonderful thing to have in a 12-week circuit to sort of break things up.
Give it a little bit of a difference. To say we're going to have a look at Shane's winning round there as well. It was a winning week for Ben Mayer with 2 wins for him too. Let's take a look at Shane first. You're talking there, Alex, about being able to open up. I mean, this is a great example of this, but this is riding at a new level.
Yeah, I mean, Shane's an unbelievable rider. He's been developing this horse for, I think, a little over a year now. Seems like a very careful horse with a lot of ability, and Shane's the master of bringing a horse along
and having the confidence in the horse and in that relationship now to go at the course like this.
Totally, and I think what makes really great riders special is that the horses have confidence in them, so they're able to ask whatever they need of the horse, and they respond because they trust their rider. And so clearly Shane has that going for him, and you see the result.
Nice win on the cards for Shane Sweetnam last week. Like I say, it was also 2 wins as well outside of the Grand Prix for British rider Ben Mayer, up as the world number 3 right now. And so Ben, 2 wins for him with running for Jane Clark with Ginger Blue, which was the horse he's ridden to win big Grand Prix before now, including in Paris. But again, Alex, I mean, he's a rider you would watch. You watch his position, you watch his style. What do you take away from watching Ben?
I think you can learn something from watching Ben flat, watching him show. I mean, I asked him today, you know, what he was doing flatting a horse. I mean, he's an unbelievable rider with so much experience. He's won a lot with Ginger Blue, and you know, he's another one that I think anybody who's aspiring to be better at riding can look to and try to emulate.
Yeah, lovely to see some well-established partnerships out there as well. So Ben Mayer, 2 wins for him as he moves up in the rankings. New rankings out this week, which was interesting as well for the world ranking. Scott Brash moving to world number 1, Kent Farrington number 2. Ben moves up to 3. We've got 6 of the world's top 10 kicking around WEF this week. Plus, we've got a few from the world's top 20. So it's going to be strong, Alex.
You would think so. I mean, it's the first 5-star week here. It's a big week. I know Kent probably wants to win again and reclaim his win from last year. But it'll definitely be competitive, and look, it makes us all better. That's why we want to be here.
Well, we're talking Kent and team. We're going to take a little look at some of the names from this week, and Kyle, let's bring you in here as well. Some of the names that are going to be competing, like you say, it was Kent Farrington that won the Grand Prix here last year with Greyer. But when we look at who we've got, let's take a look at Kent in fine form. And again, an unbelievable year last year for him. He won 2 Grand Prix here. Kyle, when you watch this pair going, they don't hold back.
No, it's unbelievable. Gray is arguably the best horse in the world, and Kent is arguably one of the best rider in the world. So together, and it's a consistent partnership. They know each other. Okay, everyone needs a little bit of luck on the day, but definitely the pendulum is always swinging in his way with that horse and that rider.
And Gray was out competing in the classes today, so we're going to assume she's going for the Grand Prix this week.
Yeah, I saw her warming up today, and I was also, like Alex said, you know, watching a little bit while I was warming up. How is this? And yeah, it's very interesting to watch Kent and that horse. They have a very special relationship, and how much he asks of her and when he asks it, and how much she gives and how much she plays. And it's yeah, it's a model of real horsemanship, I think, because she's a strong character, this mare.
Well, let's have a look at a few of those that might be big contenders this week, because bearing in mind we have the Olympic champion here, we have the European champion here, we've got Christian Cook, the Olympic champion, European champion now in Richie Vogel. Lily Keenan's been on amazing form as well. We've got a little bit of those. But Alex, coming in here this week, it's noticeable people have been working towards this week.
For sure. You know, I think you're going to see people on their best horses this week. And that hasn't maybe happened for everyone yet, but this is a very important week. And, you know, everybody wants to win the class Saturday night. So you're going to see the best riders on their best horses.
Yeah, we're going to say you're going to see a little bit of Christian and Richie and Lily here this week. Kyle, from your point of view, we're not just talking those Canadians in form right now. Erin Ballard's also done some winning. We've got you back in town.
yeah, for sure. There's some good Canadians. I think all of us are working a little bit towards other goals also this year. I haven't spoken with a lot of them, particularly who's planning to come in a bit early, a bit late, which horses they're planning to use. But for sure, Canadians are strong in Wellington. It's an important place for us, and we're happy to be there.
Let's reflect on some of your rounds here, because this is a little with Candor Mail. You've also got Casino Calvin as arguably which way you go with your top horses. I'll let you answer that question, not me. What are your thoughts coming in this year now after good experience last?
Yeah, they're different. I think with good point of having a couple of good horses is you kind of try and play them to your strengths, you know. We're trying not to get too ambitious. Last year the season went quite long for us. We didn't stop jumping till middle of December. So my Florida is starting a little bit lighter, I think, than maybe some others who had a bit of a break through December. So we're using this week as still a get-going week. I think some other people, like Alex said, they're coming in full force this week. So yeah, I think different horses, different strengths, different goals this year. And at the moment, I can't really tell you which horses are going to do what. We're kind of waiting to let them tell us a little bit.
Okay, I was going to ask you what your plan is, but I think you just answered that question.
Yeah. I'm not a big planner. I try to let the horses tell us a little bit where they want to go and what they want to do, and then that seems to always form a plan from there. I find otherwise I wrap my head around 10 plans in a row, and I'm sure our mind coach here is going to give me a problem.
I'm going to ask her about that in a second.
And then I change it 3 times over, and I just frustrate myself. So I've learned to be a bit more patient and let the horses tell us where they want to go.
And you've got some fantastic horses in there from the Rain family as well. Of course, the extended family that you have, if you like, with Nina Malave in there as well.
Yeah.
How that's feeling?
Yeah, unbelievable. It's really fun to come here to Wellington with the Rain family, Cassidy, Nina, Tara, Mark. You know, that's really it's a family thing, and you really feel part of the family when you're here. Nina obviously is on unbelievable form and is a great partner to have in the stable, partner in crime, I could say. And Cassidy also, you know, we get along great. It's a very unique, this sport is a very individual sport, and to have a team like that, that you can play with, joke with, compete with, and makes you want to be better, I think is something really special. And I think me in particular, I feel very lucky to have that, because I enjoy team, I like team, and it's an individual sport. So to be able to take advantage of that and have the people around, I feel very lucky for that.
And I'm going to actually throw that across to you. How much does that come into your discussions with riders?
Very much so. So I really resonated with what you just said, and I love hearing that, you know, when you dare to allow your horses to actually to tell you. I don't know if we heard that a lot 10 years ago, you know. Nowadays, I think we're a lot more listening to our horses. And I really believe that that is what brings success, you know, that it's a two-way street. And from all the top riders that I've interviewed, that's really the common thread that I'm hearing is if you really want to be consistent, then listening to your horses is such a critical element.
And based on what Kyle's saying, you know, a little bit of a slower start here, how have you worked with clients? How have you worked, and how do riders keep their mind sort of set on it? When if you've finished in December, you've had 6 weeks sort of coming away from top competition. What do you do to get the gears going again?
I think first of all, what's really important is that you allow yourself also to have the time if you feel that that's what you and your horses need, instead of feeling that you have to be part of that treadmill because everybody else does it and otherwise you're not going to get there. Sometimes people feel like they're going to get behind if they don't compete every single week. But what is happening more and more is that we dare to trust more. That, you know, more is not always more, less is more sometimes. And I think if you look at the top riders, how much they compete, it's not always that because they compete more, they're number one in the world. You know, they actually don't compete as much sometimes. So I think what's really important is that you actually dare to listen more to your intuition, to your horses, and that is going to be a lot more in line with what works for you, and therefore I think you're going to actually have better results, not less.
And do you have to give advice going, you know, say Kyle coming in this week that says this is how you're going to lock yourself back in from holiday mode back into work mode?
I think the training I do is for them to coach themselves more, to observe themselves. I tend to not give them advice because then they depend on me. I want them to feel within themselves, moment to moment, what is actually required, and to help them observe more, like, where am I coming from? Where am I operating from, right? And if I'm coming out of holiday, am I really on? Am I sharp? Am I ready? Or am I still a little bit in like relaxed state? Similarly, am I coming from trust right now or coming from fear? Those are all things that every person is best to answer that question within themselves. I don't think I can ever answer that for anyone else, you know. But it's learning to go within and learning to recognize that in the moment instead of afterwards thinking, oh shoot, I should have been a little more on it, you know, today. So that is a training that I do with my clients, is to actually really help find that within yourself in each moment.
Excellent. Okay, and so Kyle, plan, you're going to be in and out of here, aren't you?
Yeah, we have a big
But
stable.
you're here for the big stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to be here for the big stuff. We have a big stable of young horses in Europe that are exciting, so I have to go a bit back and forth. So my winter looks a little bit 2 weeks here, 2 weeks at home, 2 weeks here, and yeah, trying to hit the things that are important, but also you know, keep working and keep building, because as we know with this sport, we have to keep building always young horses, relationships, all these things. You know, you can't stand still. If you stand still, it passes you by very fast.
And last year you won the Canadian National Championship as well at Toronto. You've both had big wins at Toronto.
Yeah. His jump off was faster than mine.
I don't know if that's true.
Great comparison. But actually, that's a lovely accolade to add as well.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was my first time going to Toronto, and I didn't think I had a chance to win, you know, and it just worked out on that day. That mare, Potomaca, just kept jumping clear rounds and was really lucky. You know, the Rain family was there, I was there, everything worked, and it's a nice thing to have and said that we've done. You know, don't know if it'll ever happen again, but for sure we enjoy it for the moment while we have it.
No reason why not. No reason why not. But it's very interesting that you used the word luck in there, but actually it's preparation, isn't it?
Yeah, preparation and making things go and making sure the rhythm is, or the momentum, I should say, is in your direction, and trying to be there when the moments are important, you know, the same as these riders getting ready for the 5-star this week, you know. I'm sure that they had this in their heads and they're trying to get ready for those moments, and then in those moments, it's also got to go your way a little bit. The sport, which way the wind blows, the pole can fall.
How do you describe yourself? Are you a bit more laid back? Are you a bit more intense in the moment? How do we describe Kyle Tim?
I'm pretty laid back. Yeah. I'm a very intense planner and organizing programs and things, but actually in the moment, I can be walking into a 5-star Grand Prix and making a joke at the side, which probably annoys some people, but it's my character. I think also depends different people's focus in different moments. You know, for me, I never feel that a 5-star Grand Prix is me against anybody else. You know, it's me and my horse versus the course. Maybe the course designer. But so I don't. Yeah, I always want to do the best for my horse in that moment, but you have to have confidence that the preparation is there and that you're going to answer and your plan is right. And if your plan is not right, then you'll learn from it and not make the same plan again. You know.
And Ed, is it normal for riders to be relaxed going in the ring?
Again, I think it's very personal. I mean, I do, what I've heard, again, from talking to some of the best in the world, like they do feel nervous sometimes. And I think it's, again, like nervous or relaxed, it doesn't really matter. It's just how you handle it, right? And if you know for yourself what you need in the moment when it matters, I think that's what is actually most important. So is it normal to be relaxed? I think for some, and for others, maybe they're more nervous, but I don't think it really matters.
How do you deal with, and come back to this, but how do you deal with those nerves? Because I mean, those of us that get nervous, you're sitting there, your hands are shaking, everything's not working. You go, I couldn't take 2 steps, let alone ride a horse in there.
Yeah.
How do you go to that stage where you go, I can manage my nerves? Well,
the first step in managing your nerve is to accept that you have them and to know that it's not an obstacle to riding well. So a lot of people believe that if you are nervous, you can't ride well. And that story is way more distracting than the nerves itself. Nervousness is just a physical reaction of the body. It's not a problem. But you getting distracted in your head about it, now it becomes a problem. So the first step is to really accept it, feel it, and come back to what matters in that moment. And that's obviously for some, they need some training with that.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Alex, are you a nervous person or are you a relaxed person?
I'm probably a nervous person. I mean, for me, I think it really depends on my confidence. If I'm very confident going in, I'm less nervous. If I'm not, then I'm more nervous. And but I think, like you just said, it's about how you respond and staying focused. And it's not that once I start, I'm then nervous going to the first fence. It's more nervous before I get on the horse, and then when I get on the horse, I have something to do. So I don't think about that.
It becomes a distraction.
And then you don't think about, like, I don't know if I'm nervous or not when I get on the horse because I'm thinking about the horse, and myself.
Yeah.
But I don't think, I probably wouldn't be able to crack a joke before I'm going into the ring. That's a special talent.
You guys should hang out more.
Yeah, exactly.
It might balance us out a little bit. Yeah.
Alex, you famously come from an equestrian background with your father at top level. Your mum was a superb rider. Your brothers and your sisters all compete. You all compete. Yeah. Does that change that dynamic because you came up with that? Is it just all very normal to you, or do you have to really think about it?
No, I don't think it changes that dynamic. I think that, like, my nervousness more comes from the expectations that I put on myself.
Yeah.
And so whether that's from my family, from people outside, or whatever it may be, I think that's where it comes from. I think having my family is a huge asset, you know. I have a wealth of experience that I can go to, you know, I think it only helps me because I can have shared experiences, you know, and learn from them.
And you've had some great shared experiences. I mentioned Toronto. You won the World Cup there. You've had a fantastic run last year. Remind me a little of last year because it was a big year for you.
Yeah, I had a lot of success with my partner Cashew, and then I have a very good stallion named Ikigai. Junior Cannon jumped well last year also. Yeah. So, you know, I had a lot of horses step up for me, and I got to compete on a couple Nations Cups for my first time at some really special shows, which obviously was really special to me. So, you know, but there's a lot more that I'd like to accomplish, and I think I can do a lot of things better. So it's just trying to get a little better every day.
What's the plan to say? I mean, taking Ikigai in there, I mean, you were second in Barcelona in the Grand Prix, you were on the Nations Cup in Dublin. Those I assume, are a couple of the special shows we talk about.
Yeah, those were great experiences. You know, he's a very good horse, and I hope I can win a couple classes with him this year and do a little bit better. But you know, we'll just keep working hard every day, and hopefully that happens.
What's he like?
He is very chill. He would probably crack a lot of jokes.
He might go to sleep.
He might go to sleep. Yeah. Of horses.
Yeah. He will not care about anything Saturday night. I mean, he just loves his food and hanging out. But he's got an amazing disposition. I mean, he also knows when he gets in the ring what his job is. He's ultra talented, and I'm lucky to have him.
In terms of going into, say, Saturday night this week, how are we feeling about it all? Because you again, coming up, you've got up another rung on the ladder last year.
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, I feel like I'm sitting on a really great horse. And so I think if I do my job, there's no reason we won't have a good result. You know?
And let's just reflect a little on Cashew, who was a fantastic horse for you.
Yeah, Cashew was an amazing horse. I mean, he was such a competitor himself. I think he won like 7 or 8 FEI classes last year. And the ones that he didn't win, I definitely made a mistake or something. Because he's just, you know, so careful, so fast. I definitely won't have another one like him, but I hope I have some other good ones.
And he's enjoying his time now.
Yeah, he's in the snow, just hanging out.
He thought it was a good deal until it wasn't.
Yeah, he just gets turned out for like 8 hours during the day and then comes in at night. So he's kind of pampered still, but he deserves it. So.
Excellent. A mere 8 hours. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely. That's great. That's exactly what retirement is supposed to be
exactly.
about.
Yeah. We didn't throw him to the wolves with all the other retired horses. So he's still, you know.
It's a break in time.
Yeah.
Annette, coming to you, let's talk Saturday night from your end of things, because you've been working with riders like Louis Larathabel, who's been winning and winning here. A number of riders have said to me the difference in their mental approach has increased their wins. How does that happen?
Great question. Well, you said it earlier. I think when you observed Shane Sweetnam, it's like if the horse trusts the rider, you know, you're able to leave out that stride, for example. And if you deep down are not really trusting yourself, it's hard to follow your plan or to really take out that stride or go for it. and to also really dare to listen to the horse. There is always that part that wants to control, maybe by overthinking or overdoing, and so going deeper in getting to know all parts of yourself, not just the ones you like, ultimately has a big impact on your results as well. And within that, actually, most importantly, the connection with your horse. So, for example, with Louise, what really made a big difference for him was when getting to know himself better and then connecting that to actually getting to know his horses better, and just going a little deeper with not only telling the horses what to do, not that he was just doing that, but really listening at a deeper level. So I always say you can only connect with a horse at the level that you're willing to connect with yourself. If you're very critical towards yourself, for example, that's gonna come out. And so yeah, being able to do that inner work always has an impact on your life and your results.
And how does that work? Does that, it's not so much sitting in a dark room and say, think about yourself for the next half hour. I assume that's a lot of you exploring with them your inner traits.
Yeah, indeed, it's asking certain questions, but it's also learning to actually at times to sit with yourself. And now that sounds maybe a little odd, but actually feeling rather than thinking, because we're so well trained in thinking, aren't we? And actually learning to feel more and to just actually sit still for a minute, even though us high achievers find that really hard to do, but to slow down and feel and create that space. High achievers like Louise, they're often 3 steps ahead, rushing. And we tend to then also, that pattern comes out on the horse, in the ring, even if we're not always aware of that. So awareness is created not just in our sessions, but especially in the moments between our sessions and doing the work yourself.
Taking time for yourself
and tuning in,
yeah,
doing the work.
Do you guys do that at all? Do you do it on a horse? Do you sort of have any inner reflection, Kyle? Or are you just a do?
No, for sure. I reflect a lot, but yeah, I think you have to slow down before you can go faster, for sure. I think I ride a lot of young horses, and we build a lot of horses like for 4 or 5 years. So I think the confidence part for us is maybe different than some other, than people have to get on a horse and produce right away for an owner or something. Like I have a 10-year-old here jumping the 5-star this week. I've ridden since a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
And so those, I think when you're maybe building more in that direction, maybe you have to take a little bit more time. You don't really have an option because horses only get older year by year. I think that's a different, maybe way to approach it. But no, for sure you have pressure in trying to stay in the moment and then stay confident, be confident in the horses that you're riding. I think that all kind of ties together here,
And Alex, you're a stay in the moment, stay focused person, obviously.
I try to, yeah. I mean, it's obviously easier said than done, but if you listen to any great mind coach or sports psychologist, they say how important that is. And so, yeah, I mean, I will remind myself in my head, hey, focus on the horse. This is, you worked hard to get right here. Focus on what's happening right now. And I think that's ultra important. And then also probably, moving on quickly from bad rounds and not reflecting too much on that. But I think probably most top riders would tell you that it's not super easy to do. I mean, maybe some people would say differently, but I think it's something that you have to work on, and everybody probably has a different way of convincing themselves of whatever they need, to have confidence, to feel relaxed. But it's a constant sort of battle, I think, with any athlete to get focused and stay calm and execute the job that you have at hand.
So getting into the right mindset, how many seconds are you winning by on Saturday night?
I don't care if it can be 1/100th of a millisecond, as long as I'm the fastest.
How are you feeling about it?
I feel good. I mean, like I said, you know, I have a very good horse. We've got the experience now. Somebody's got to win. There's no reason why I can't win. So,
No, exactly.
You know.
He might have something to say about that.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, if we're first and second, that's
fine.
great.
I'm not even sure I'm jumping Saturday night yet. I'm still letting the horses choose what they're going to do.
But that's what I like, is the
Yeah.
fact you're looking at this week and going, right, we've got to go through each stage. You've got a different mindset to the week.
Yeah,
going,
yeah.
Okay, I've got to look at the week and go, let's see how the qualifier goes. Let's see how it all goes, and go from there, step by step.
Yeah, for sure. And the horses had a bit of time off. Maybe, you know, it's also, we had cold weather last week, hot weather this week. Maybe I'm going to jump tomorrow and the horse will be totally empty. Maybe I'll think he needs another smaller class for fitness. Maybe he jumps amazing, but then on Friday I feel him a bit stiff. You know, where I'm at with the stage of my horses just now at the beginning of this tour, it's really important to take time, listen, you know, and analyze a bit. You know, make a bit of plan and then be willing to adjust the plan, because there's big goals this year, you know, for a lot of riders.
Yeah, absolutely. World Championships,
Yeah.
the ends of seasons here, and much to come. Annette, who really stands out for you looking at Saturday night with people like Kent Farrington, of who's got such a strong mindset? Because I take someone like Kent as an example, but just so focused on what they're doing.
Incredibly focused and committed, right? They leave no stone unturned, and yeah, that is what it takes to be not only the best in the world, but to be consistent. And yeah, an incredibly strong mindset. From what I can see, Kent is still one of those riders that I have not yet managed to interview. I say yet, I'm working on it. No, but I mean, like you said, at the end of the day, anyone can win. And that's the beauty of this sport, right? That anyone can win. And it comes down to that belief in yourself also, that, you know, why not me? And at the same time being detached from the outcome and saying, you know, I don't have to win, but I know I can.
You know you can. Everybody, good luck. 40 riders are going to be heading out there on Saturday night as well. We've got lots coming up this week. And just a reminder as well that on Friday, we also bring hunters back into the main international arena as well, because we have our $100,000 hunt team stake benefiting the Neil Hirsch Boys and Girls of Wellington as well. So that's going to be a team event coming up between actually they team up as a relay with professionals, amateurs and juniors as well on Saturday night. So that's going to be lots of fun and raises lots of money as well. So that's a great event on that too. So looking forward to that on Friday night. And like I say, Saturday night, you can join us for the Fidelity Grand Prix as well. And reminder, of course, once we get into the 5-star Grand Prix as well, where you're following our coverage, we will be here with a pre-show for the Grand Prix as well. So we'll be here earlier than the Grand Prix starting, probably around 6:20, something like that, to bring you. And I've got a very good lineup of riders coming on there, including Laura Kraut. That's going to be at 6 o'clock. There we go, just confirm that one. 6 o'clock on Saturday night. We've got Laura Kraut coming on there, Skylar Riley, and also Sean Crooks to come and preview competition that is taking place on Saturday night as well. So make sure you join us for that. Let's remind you of a few of the leaderboards of who's doing well here at WEF this year. Natalie Dean, as we saw last week, is at the top of the Leading Lady Rider Awards, ahead of Lily Keenan and Erin Ballard, our top 3 there so far. But again, big week here, could see some changes there too, thanks to Martha. And leading international rider was Lily Keenan last week. So now Shane Sweetnam has gone to the top, just squeaked ahead. But again, lots of money on the line this week as well. Could very much put that in a big swing too. Lily Keenan in second, Bertram Allen top 3 right now. 4th place for Erin Ballard, who sits again amongst that group. And let's take a look at the Don Little Masters. Who's the top? Same again. Good stuff. Well done. Camille's still at the top on 52 points ahead of Blythe Masters and Philip Steinkraus as well for the top 3. And then our concluding group of those for our leaderboards as well. Let's take a look at the MS series. Last week was won by Ben Mayer, but it is Lily Keenan leading spot there on 103 ahead of Cian O'Connor, and then Erin Ballard and McLean Ward as equal 3rd place right now too. So those are some of our leaderboards of what's going on into what has been happening, and good luck to them. And as I say, we've got Hunter action coming up for you this week as well on Friday night. But let's remind you what's coming up this week for all the big classes as well, including tomorrow. we bring you the $116,000 Grand Prix qualifier, but also dressage is in action on this week as well. So let's remind you too of how that is going to work. Thursday takes us to the Grand Prix qualifier. That's the Grand Prix qualifier for either the Grand Prix Special or the Freestyle. The Freestyle taking place on Friday night, as is traditional with dressage here too. Saturday sees them into the Grand Prix Special over at Global as well, at the wonderful facility there. And as I say, jumping wise, tomorrow afternoon we're into the Adequan WEF Challenge Cup as well. Friday sees us into the Bainbridge Speed class. That's also a qualifier for the Grand Prix as well. Top 10 to come from that. So lots on the line there. And then later on into the week for our Hunter team competition on Friday night. Then we switch things back again. $500,000 Fidelity Investments Grand Prix on Saturday. Sunday takes us into the MS 150 and also the concluding of the Chrome Horse Tequila 2-star with the Grand Prix there as well. That is lots and lots coming up for you this week. And again, you can stay in touch with us. You can email our team and me direct on wefweekly@wellingtoninternational.com. Please tell us about what you want to hear about, who you want to hear from, and tell us what you've been up to. I'd love to see some videos of when you're competing as well, wherever you are around the country as well. And you and your horses, send those to us too. We'd love to see those, and we'll feature them on the show too in the coming weeks too. So it remains for me to say thank you very much to all three of you for joining me here. Annette, good luck.
Thank you.
Behind the scenes with our team this week. You were an accomplished rider yourself, but you're now behind the scenes. Which
Not
is...
nearly as these guys.
But good luck with that. And your job is looking after Lemon at the end of the show as well. Lemon's with us throughout. There we go. In a new outfit once again, Lemon LeMieux. And to Kyle, good luck to you. Lemon is staying with us. I'm afraid we're going to leave you with your horses, which are fantastic.
Thank you.
But looking forward to seeing, as you say, we're going to see how the week plays out.
Yep.
But you're going to be looking for Nations Cup. You're going to be back in and out of here at Wellington.
Exactly. We have in and out through the season, trying to hit the important moments.
Excellent. Alex, good luck for Saturday night. Fingers crossed. Big qualifier tomorrow. Let's get that out of the way.
There we go.
And speed on. What are we using this week? What are the horses?
I have Ikigai for the qualifier and the Grand Prix, hopefully. And then I have an exciting young horse in the second classes, Claramo.
Claramo. Excellent. Yeah. Good luck.
Good
luck to everyone this week. Enjoy this week. It's a big week here in Wellington. We're into 5-star jumping action. Dressage is underway. Hunters are coming back to the international ring as well. It feels like we're getting that mid-season feel. The mid-season vibe is definitely upon us here at Wellington International. Join us for all the action. Thank you for joining us this week on WEF Weekly. We'll see you soon.